What's going on YouTube? Brutal Death Pie here once again, and I wanted to share some thoughts on useful tips for beginners when using the Assault class today, as well as a couple of weapon recommendations that I found particularly effective within this class. Assault is probably my favorite class to use personally, just for the fact that they are so adaptable, they deal so much damage up close, and are equipped to respond to a diverse array of threats from the battlefield, both from infantry and vehicles. Playing any class in such a way as to minimize their built-in constraints and allow them to be more flexible and adaptable to as many situations as possible is a recipe for success in my books. I've been playing long enough at this point that I've discovered what I believe are some useful techniques to help beginners maximize this class's adaptability and efficiency, as newer players they'll likely run into some problems if they are not playing Assault correctly. In addition to wielding massive boom cannons and explosion boxes that seem to make all the tanks and armored vehicles just magically disappear, it'll become fairly apparent to newer players early on that this class, it really kicks ass up close. Even for newer players, if you're up close against a medic support or scout player of a similar skill level on a one-on-one basis, generally speaking, you should be winning the majority of those firefights. So a new player shouldn't have too much trouble in these kinds of engagement distances. So at this range, the newer player is safe to essentially mag dump the weapon. Even miss a few shots and they'll still turn out okay. His engagement range positioning was ideal and the encounter was forgiving in his favor. Because there was only one enemy player, he did not have to worry about managing his magazine count, making it less dangerous to shoot more than what was necessary because there was no immediate threat of any other enemy players nearby. However, it should be borne in mind that the MP18 is a 5-shot kill up close, and skilled players will actually count their hit markers until the requisite amount of hits equals a kill, and know when to stop firing and acquire the next target, so as to avoid wasting the remaining ammo in their mag / being ready for another encounter without being caught in a reload. Think about it. If you are using nearly every single bullet in your mag for every kill and then have to reload after each encounter, your damage input and survivability is just greatly impacted versus somebody who actually conserves their ammo tactically and efficiently. Just something I recommend keeping in mind, as I've witnessed quite a few beginners hold down the trigger well after their target has been neutralized. But I am digressing a little bit, so let's take a look at what a beginner with an MP18 trench will typically do with the Assault class at a less than ideal range. So the player is running into a few problems here. At this range, his damage output is diminished from a 5-shot kill to a 7-shot kill. His spread and recoil has built up so much at that range that he has only hit a few of his initial shots, and the rest of his ammo is flying off target. And to make matters worse, he's allowed his iron sights to creep up past the target, causing him to lose track of his target under his gun and need to reacquire, causing you to lose precious time that could really be the difference between living and dying. This is especially problematic on console because a thumbstick just does not yield the same degree of dexterity that a mouse and keyboard user has access to, so reacquiring your target for the average console user will take more time and just further disadvantage you. There's a few remedies for these problems. Scaling your firing pattern down from panicked mag dumping to 2 to 3 bullet bursts in small intervals, and going with the sighted variant of the MP18 that elevates your sights slightly above the gun, making it easier to track your targets, such as the MP18 optical and MP18 experimental variants, is a really good start. However, take a look at what you can do with the MP18 trench variant as well. As you can see from what I've found, bursting from the hip is surprisingly accurate. You just have to pepper your enemy in 2 to 3 shot volleys, but because you don't have the added time of ADSing and adjusting your sights on your target, this helps you get that quick extra drop on the enemy. Using this technique, I actually found myself winning firefights against players with weapons that completely outclassed mine at medium to long range, such as support, medic, and even scout snipers from time to time. Regardless of whatever approach you take, the point I'm trying to convey here is to utilize your class in such a way as to allow you to play outside of their constraints. These are just a couple of my suggestions to help newer players out. For a lot of new players, the biggest constraint they're going to encounter as Assault is going up against players at medium distances, and they're going to struggle going against average players using semi-autos and bolt-action rifles. Normally they'll kill you pretty quickly, starting from medium distance if they go unchallenged, but from what I've found, as soon as they start seeing those red damage indicators pop up on their screens, they tend to start hesitating between challenging you or taking cover, especially if you land the first damage, and using the trench variant usually gives you that extra edge in landing those first couple of rounds. So my recommendation is to use the MP18 trench in this regard, even in wide open maps such as Ballroom Blitz, Empire's Edge, and Monte Grappa, and just start leveling up your assault class to rank 10. Just in case you don't know this, each time you play Assault, an experience meter fills up for that class, and this allows you to unlock more weapons down the road. Once you reach rank 10 with Assault, you unlock the Hell Regal. Now the Hell Regal, or Hell Regel if you're fancy, is probably one of the best weapons in the game to use. It features the same damage model as the MP18, except instead of shooting 600 rounds per minute, it shoots an even higher 650 rounds per minute, and features a massive 60-round water-cooled drum-style magazine. Plus, just look at this thing. It's a beast. You just look like a badass just running around on the battlefield with it, just terrorizing players. And this means that the damage that you can output is even higher than the MP18, and it can sustain fire for significantly longer. This makes it a phenomenal submachine gun that is both flexible and dynamic. I had no problem soloing and clearing out entire rooms of enemy players with this weapon, because this magazine allows you to go through pretty much 3 to 4 enemies at a time before you need to reload. Bear in mind, though, that this weapon does come with a few small caveats. It has a slower reload speed, and you only get 2 magazines of 60, so you'll piss through that ammo faster than a racehorse if you're not careful. Plus, it has reduced hipfire accuracy, so definitely aim down sights with this weapon, unless you're really close range. The recoil, however, is very manageable on this gun. Now, some of you might be wondering at this point why I haven't brought up the Automatico and shotguns in this video, as I'm sure many of you have had great successes with them and just probably gone on some brutal, disgusting rampages with those guns. But let me tell you, they are excellent weapons at close range. If you know what you're doing, you will win virtually every close encounter engagement with those guns. However, they are just that, close range weapons. While the Automatico features an ungodly, for a World War I era, 900 rounds per minute, it also has a steep damage drop-off. It has quite a bit higher recoil as well, unless you run the Storm variant, which helps out quite a bit, and it has a diminished mag count of just 25 bullets. 25 bullets plus 900 rounds per minute means you'll be reloading this thing like a lot. So I would really think of the Automatico more of just like, use it like a shotgun essentially. But if you do want to rip somebody a new asshole with this weapon, as I'm sure it will, I recommend sticking to maps and situations where the engagement distances are controlled and tight. Same thing goes for shotgun. It's for these reasons that I prefer both the MP18 and the Hell Regal to the shotguns and the Automatico. I really feel that the MP18 and High Regal truly are more flexible and adaptable to fight in a wider array of unique combat scenarios that you otherwise wouldn't be able to fight that effectively in if you had, say, an Automatico or a shotgun. And the battlefield is going to be offering up plenty of those long range and distance encounters with maps like Sinai Desert, Ballroom Blitz, Empire's Edge, or Foul Fortress. You guys know the maps. But if you really do want to focus on close range, by all means, go for the shotguns and Automatico. But the focus of this video really has been to help the Assault player expand beyond their close quarter specialization and succeed in longer range encounters as well as close encounters to make the most of themselves on the battlefield and ultimately to be successful and have fun. It's not going to be any fun if all you're doing is getting sniped and outgunned at medium distance, and the only thing you can do is kill somebody if you're next to them humping them. So this is why I really recommend those two weapons to try out. And that's pretty much what I wanted to go over today for you guys. I hope you found this mini guide to the Assault class at least somewhat helpful. By no means is this guide comprehensive. I'm still getting my hands on the game. I'm still trying things out with you guys. I'm trying to figure out new strategies or metas that will really help the new players as well. I just didn't really see any YouTubers sharing this, and I just wanted to share it with my audience. But do leave me your thoughts down below. Did you like what you heard today, or do you agree or disagree? Is there anything else that I missed? You guys know the scoop. And I do hope that your day is going well. Just so you know, there will be more Battlefield 1 content similar to this coming up on the channel. So if you did enjoy, consider subscribing. I still need to make the medic, the support, the scout guides, and give my overall thoughts and impressions on those as well. So I will keep you guys posted on those. But yeah, this has been Brutal Death Pie. I hope you guys are having a good one, and I will speak with you soon. I'm out.
Derp, derpity derp 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 derp.